some big coaching news. Kyle Whittingham gets hired at the University of Michigan. This is after he didn't, if I remember correctly, he did not say resigned. I think he said
Yeah,
step down.
I remember asking that question that day, and I was told I was reading too much into it that he was retiring. But his official statement did not say retiring.
It didn't. And I thought that raised a lot of eyebrows in the media. And I seen one or two in particular mention that, hey, it's the wording of this is odd. And a matter of fact, there was one media member said maybe I'm reading too much into this, but he doesn't say resigning. He just says stepping down, which was very odd, I thought. And but I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, maybe we're reading too much into it.
Yeah, because then they tried to say something. Wasn't he supposed to have like a 2 year advisory role or something with the AD
Mhm.
or something like that? Yeah. So that was when I was like, all right, I read too much into it. That's all that meant was he was going to be doing that.
Austin, I ain't gonna lie, man. I actually like the hire. And Michigan fans, I don't know how they feel now. Maybe they're, more loving it now. But I tell you this morning when I checked it, or whenever when you had sent the text to the group chat about it, I went and checked, Michigan message boards, and they did not seem too happy. I think they all had their eyes set on DeBoer. I think they had their eyes set on Kenny Dillingham. I think I seen a lot of them wanting Glenn Schumann from UGA. There was a lot of others that had their eyes set. Now, Kyle Winham he was a name that was from the very beginning mentioned. Like this did not to me, it his name was mentioned at the very beginning. Like I saw his name mentioned in a couple of hot boards, and that also raised my eyebrows back to what we talked about with you know, it was kind of odd that he was getting mentioned after he just, retired. But I don't know, man.
Right.
Like the hire. Listen, if he, especially because Matt Zentz of CBS Sports reported shortly after Pete Nakos at On3 reported that the hire was going to become official later tonight. That all signs point to him targeting the offense coordinator for Utah. I think it's Jason Beck. Now his name is escaping me, but Beck, the offense coordinator at Utah. Which, if you've paid attention to our show, I've always loved him. He was the main reason I picked Utah to go in the Big 12 championship game this year. Didn't make it the Big 12 championship game, but still went 10-2. But I like this hire for a couple of things. I think it's going to be great for the culture at Michigan, which I think has been eroding the last 5 to 6 years. I think it's been an absolute administrative mess there behind the scenes. I think they've just had they had the spying scandal, they had the Connor Styling stuff, then they have Sharon Moore apparently having an affair, and then they're getting arrested after the fact, and then that also the thing about Moore is apparently that was well known amongst the school for a year or so that they just couldn't prove it. It's just been a mess up there. So I like it for that reason. Like you're gonna get a guy that culturally he does things the right way. He has 21 years of a track record of doing things the right way. And the other thing is, I mean, I don't know if Kyle Whittingham can win a national championship. I know me and you talked on the phone about this earlier, and you were right in your comments. 10 years ago, we were always saying, if we would love to see Kyle Whittingham at a job like this. Um, with the resources Michigan can provide, because he did so well at Utah. I think he's still going to win a lot of ball games. I don't know if he's a national championship winning coach. This is what's kind of exciting for me is where I guess we'll find out. He's finally had a big job. And I don't know. I think if he can get that OC from Utah, it's going to elevate that hire to even me liking it even more. And I'm pretty excited about it. At the very worst, I think you're going to get 5 to 6 years of a really good coach. You're going to be physical, you're going to be smart, you're going to be disciplined, and you're going to have a good coach, and you're probably going to win a lot of games. And that will be a good landing next era after him.
Yeah. Well said. The more I've thought about this, for Michigan right now, it's a little bit more than about winning ball games right now. Um, I kind of compare them, just in our lifetime. I think about where Tennessee went, after Philip Fulmer, sets a dumpster fire there, and they start spiraling downhill. And then, as much as we love them, they go through coaches, and then you hire a coach like Lane Kiffin who comes in and just throws gasoline on that fire. And I mean, look how long it took that program to get back to even be, somewhat respected. Michigan was headed in that direction because, I mean, there's just been one thing after the next. So if nothing else, I'm with you. I like the hire from a sense that I think he can come back and just get them on the straight and narrow, path that they need to be on, and win some ball games. I'm not saying he's not a good football coach by any means.
Mhm.
But I think this hire is going to mean more to the University of Michigan than winning ball games in the next 2 or 3 years. I think it's a hire that could possibly save uh, their program over the next 10 to 20 years.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited, especially if he gets offensive coordinator at Utah. I think that's going to be the big thing. Yeah, I'm pretty hyped about it. I remember they were talking some Brom stuff, which I was excited about too. A report came out today though that apparently the Brom stuff was not, you know, not legit. So
Yeah.
anyway, I think Michigan made a good hire. I think we both agree with that. I'll be curious to see how it goes. I think the most important thing, obviously, is offense coordinator hire. I don't know. Did you see the report of who he's going after for defense coordinator?
No.
BYU's DC.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. Now, a little if you don't know that, if you don't know, which I didn't know, apparently the defense coordinator at BYU coached under Kyle Whittingham at Utah at one point. So some familiarity there. And then I think he's a really good DC. So if you can get him, pair him up with Beck at offensive coordinator, I think he's stepping the right foot. And then it's all about keeping Bryce Underwood. That's goal one, goal two, goal three. Similar to the NFL, you're only as good as your quarterback. And
Yeah.
that needs to be already worked on before he even took the job. Probably like he should be calling Bryce Underwood and doing whatever he can to keep that man. But it's big.
I mean, if I was Bryce Underwood, I would be excited about this hire.
I would too. I would too, especially if he's bringing that OC with him. I would be
Yeah.
ecstatic. But